Hey guys, Colt here with the first author talks I've done in quite some time. I will be doing an update and Q&A. I've heard you guys, I've seen your tweets, I've gotten your messages. You want an update, and here it is. Gonna start off with answering the first question I'm getting, which is, where have you been? Where are you? Why are you so quiet? What's going on? So for the first time in my 6-year writing career, I took a legitimate vacation from writing. I took a month off. I spent time with my family and relaxed. I read so many books and it was glorious. The ironic thing about loving books and wanting to be a writer is the more you write, the less time you have to read, and it becomes this crazy balancing act that I was definitely losing. So that was what was going on with me. I'm back in the saddle again, booting back up and writing. I'm actually on a deadline right now, which is why I would say this video is being brought to you by coffee, lack of sleep, and casualness, which is why I'm in a different background. I'm actually in my bedroom right now. Now I'm going to jump into some questions because you guys sent some awesome ones. The first thing was, what made you write MC romance? If you're not familiar with that MC abbreviation, it stands for Motorcycle Clubs. I am a former Marine wife. My husband was in the service for a time. I saw so many parallels between the MC world and the military world, with the brotherhood, a job where they're often gone, often in dangerous situations, and you don't know all the details. A world people don't understand unless they've had direct contact with it. And I might even wager to say lived it in some way, because it's not how people imagine that it would be. And it was a way for me to write about my experiences, some of the things that I've seen, and what that life is like for the wife who's on the other end of it, or the significant other, without feeling like I was rehashing literally my life, if that makes sense. A lot of times you guys ask me, are you going to write a military romance? Will you? Probably not, because I've lived it and I just don't feel like I need to rehash it. I think I'm too close to it. A lot of times it can be romanticized, and I've sort of seen not the best side of it. It is really difficult to stay together in a military setting, so I just choose not to. So the MC romance was sort of like my nod to my time spent in that lifestyle. Do songs or pictures inspire your stories or characters? Absolutely. If you've read me, you probably noticed in my most recent books, you will have a playlist at the beginning of pretty much every one of them. I love to write playlists while I'm writing because there are songs and albums that just give me certain emotions. And so I play it nonstop. There have been times where a character or a whole story has been inspired by a song or an album, because sometimes albums tell stories. I will see pictures and start asking what if, and from that what if comes all sorts of things. So definitely I can be inspired by just about anything. I'm a big believer with needing to put things in to get things out. So if you want to write new things and write new angles, you have to be experiencing new things, whether it's reading authors you have never read, going different places, taking up a new hobby. All of these things I think just spark creativity. So I'm constantly trying to do that. How do you balance being a mother with writing? Coffee, not enough sleep, prayer, and craziness. It's tough. It's tough. Writing takes a lot out of you. Not only just getting that rough draft down, but the editing and the marketing. It is an all-involved, all-consuming sort of career, which I love, but children are exactly the same way. So I do shortcuts as far as I write in short spurts. That's something that I do. I make scene cards. When I write, I often see it as if it was a TV series. So I know I want scene 1, scene 2, scene 3. Here are my major players. This is the major points. Because I am a pantser, I like to have that freedom. So I do these scene cards, which are very broad outlines, so I know where I'm going. And I try to stop at a poignant moment in the story. So I might stop at the beginning of a scene, so when I come right back to it, I know exactly where I am. Or I stop right before something's going to happen, so when I come back, I can dive right back into it. So those are sort of like the coping mechanisms I have to having a to-do list that is always way too long for me. What keeps you motivated to write? Writing is my way to bring hope, happiness, and happy endings to stories, because life isn't always happy and the guy doesn't always get the girl, and maybe you don't always find the love of your life. But in my stories, I can make sure that those things do happen, and that's really my motivation. My characters do go through some things, but they always end up happy and they have that growth. And that's what keeps me writing, getting to explore that. Are there any genres you would like to try? Absolutely. I have not tried my hand at fantasy yet. I'm kind of obsessed with fantasy right now. I'm reading it in a major way, and I would like to do that. I would also like to go back to my roots, because I started as a paranormal romance writer, and it's been a long time since I touched that. I would really enjoy going to that. Did I work a day job when I started to write? When I decided that I was going to be a professional writer, I did not have a day job. I was actually a stay-at-home mom. But I've always written, and one of the times in my life where I actually wrote the most, where I still have like notebooks full of information and little cards full of written ideas, was when I was a flight attendant. Because you get a lot of downtime in between people getting on, people getting off, during the flight when no one needs anything, going from one place to another, or waiting for a plane to come in so you can board to work. And I was just full of ideas. I mean, like literally every couple of hours I was in a different city. And there's something really exciting about that. And getting to see all kinds of different things really sparks your creativity. So when I decided to officially be a writer, it was actually pretty much after I had ended my career as a flight attendant. But those 3 years were really important to me making that final decision and discovering what I wanted to write about. For the first time ever, I will be doing a giveaway. I will be giving away a signed copy of Walk the Line, which is my most recent release. To be entered, all you have to do is comment below. If there were any questions that I didn't answer or you didn't get a chance to ask, please leave it below and I will be happy to answer it then. Thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this little author speaks update. Shyla Colt, and I will see you later, guys.